All right. I posted about this a couple times, but I thought I'd post a quick video. Sometimes a video is a little clearer to understand. Little video showing what the system does and how I build it. So before I give you the demo, I wanted to show you real quick the type of interface I'm using to have AI build this system for me. This is the interface for Google AI Studio. And what we have on the left here is a chat where I'm interacting with the AI and it's building this preview system on the right for me. So, for instance, I've been working with this for a week or two, just tinkering with it to learn how it works. And I pretty much was done. And I told it to, deploy it and let's button this up for now. And it said, okay, great, I did that for you. But hey, if you want to, tackle some additional features, these are some features that you might want to try. Uh, at that point, when the shop manager was assigning work orders to bays, they had to click this assign to bay button, and then it would say which bay do you want to assign it to. And it gave me the suggestion, hey, would you like me to implement drag and drop so that you could actually just drag this appointment into the timeline? So I said, sure, yeah, implement drag and drop directly to the timeline, and then also implement drag and drop reordering of the queue. And it built that for me. And then I had done some other, requests, like, hey, increase the contrast between these appointments and the background. And it did. So just a quick sample of, how I interact by asking the system to do things and then it implements them. So now let's get into the demo. So this is the demo system. It's all sample data and I don't have any user credentials, so anybody can play with this. But I asked the system to build a multi-tenant system for me. Multi-tenant means that there's one system, but it can handle multiple shops. So if somebody wanted to deploy this as a paid service, for instance, you can add as many shops as you want. There's two demo shops in here, Main Street Auto and Westside Performance. If you were doing this as a service, collecting money from people, it would show you what the recurring revenue is for each of the shops and any kind of, you can manage your tenants and add new clients. So that's the way the system was built. If you wanted to look at a particular shop and switch into that view, you could just go to this manage here. And that'll take you into the Main Street Auto interface, right? So here we have three different copies of Main Street Auto. And the reason I have three copies is there's three different personas that people interacting with the system can have. They can be interacting as the shop floor, the shop manager. The shop manager and the bay leader are two different employee personas. I don't know how exactly shops work, or if there's differences in how big the shop is, but the way I kind of mocked it up here was that the manager is the person who I perceive to be kind of the front desk, who's checking people in, who's telling the shop floor that, hey, these are the cars we have to work on today. And the key point is that I don't want the shop manager to micromanage what's going on in each of the bays. So the shop manager is really looking at who's in the queue, appointments coming in, and assigning them to bays. And then the bay leader is the one who is responsible for certain bays. And they do the micromanaging of what's going on with their bay and the queue, the queue for their bay. And then we've got the customer who's got the, hey, my garage, I'm David, and these are my two cars, and these are the appointments that I have coming up, and what my service history is. So they're the three different personas that we're going to use for this demo. So back to the shop manager. The idea here is that people have appointments. They could either have already checked in their car or dropped it off overnight, or they can be scheduled for today, but not yet have arrived. So here we have a Honda Civic. Oh, I see one thing I need to improve upon here is that the shop manager would want to know what the service requested is so that he can assign it to the right bay. You know, we have, again, I don't know how the shops work, but there could be general bays or diagnostics, something with the tire alignment machine, you know, so whatever the bay's equipment and capabilities are would have to be aligned with what the shop manager is assigning. But we could take this Honda Civic here, we can assign it to Bay 1's queue. We could take the RAV4 and we can assign it to Bay 3's queue, or we can re-queue them if we want. We could take this RAV4 and move it to the alignment station. Now, that's pretty much all we want the manager to be doing. So if we go to the bay leader view, the idea here is that the bay leader is responsible for, you know, what his assignments are. He could say, hey, I'm going to be responsible for bays 1 and 2. All right, and then he kind of does the micromanagement for bays 1 and 2. Let me go back here and see. Let's move this RAV4 up to bay 2, just for demo purposes. All right, so we can see that the RAV4, Emma Wilson's RAV4, is queued up for bay 2, but it's not yet active in the bay. Here in bay 1, he's got Alice Cooper's Tesla that's active in the bay, and he's got a Honda Civic in the queue. All right, when the manager wants to bring it into the bay, he can choose. Say we had multiple cars. Let's bring another car into the queue for bay 2 so that we can see that. Let's see. Let's move this Honda Civic to bay 2. So now you can see we have 2 cars in bay 2's queue. The bay leader can say, hey, you know, this is my domain. I'm responsible for bay 2. I know about these cars. I'm going to activate David Miller's Civic. So now the mechanic in bay 2 is working on David Miller's Civic. The mechanic in bay 1 is working on Alice Cooper's Tesla. And then he can either put it on hold, complete it, or, you know, do different things there with it. You know, he can complete the Honda Civic and then activate Emma Wilson's RAV4. And let's go see what's happened back here. All right, so completed. You can see that the Civic went to completed, now working on Emma Wilson's. And now let's take a look at it from the customer's point of view. The customer has his Honda Civic. We already talked about that, but he's also got an F-150, and the F-150 is due for an oil change. So if we went to the F-150, we can actually schedule that. Let's schedule it for today at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m., let's schedule this, and we'll see what happens in the rest of the system. So let's go back to the shop manager. Oh, and look, we see the F-150. The F-150 showed up in the parking lot. Oh, I see here the Honda Civic went back to the parking lot after it was completed. That's interesting. We'll have to see what the manager wants to do about that. Maybe we filter out completed cars from the parking lot. But we can see that the F-150 showed up as an appointment that's expected at 1500 hours today. Not yet arrived. The manager can mark it as arrived. No problem. Then he can assign it to a bay. The F-150 goes. He's going for. I'd set an oil change. I guess that should go to. That should go probably to one of the general bays. But now the bay lead can see that the F-150 showed up in his view. So that's just a quick overview of what this system does. Let me know what you think. Again, I was really doing a learning exercise. So if nobody's really interested in this, then we'll just kind of park it and claim task complete that I learned how to do AI. AI, where is it? That was probably back here. AI code generation for some application. So thank you. Just leave a chat if you want to talk more about it.